You tweeting it out or?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, Drake Thomas, 12 tackles.
Already, goddamn.
I I knew he had a few, but 12? That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Good game.
You got people coming in here.
Well, that's David Agoa.
That is a lot.
That dude from the OCU Manures guy from Nigeria, that part of that program just got a sack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Second football game he's ever played in, Tashawn said. Not bad.
Wow. Not bad.
Nice little practice squad, dude.
You got people coming in here. Oh, you got 13? You got it in the comments. Number 4 for president. I already see that.
Number 4 for president. Let's go.
Yeah. I probably wait to the end of the game. I'll tweet it at the end of the game so we don't look like we're starting like weirdos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone will call us out for that.
Yeah,
someone will call us out for not watching these guys that are playing for someone else's practice squad next year.
I don't know. Drake Thomas didn't make this team, man. You talking about Drake Thomas?
True. My fault. My disrespect to the Drake Thomas.
Disrespect.
Is he still on the field?
Huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's on the punt team right here.
Yeah, he was on the field too, making plays.
O'Connell
went 3-0 the last drive. He missed. He had Cam Sims wide open.
I missed him.
Yeah,
he had a couple misses this game. He had the one to Tucker. I don't know what he was like, threw it back shoulder almost. It looked like, and
yeah,
it was a bad ball. But I mean, still, dude, I'll take him over Brian Hoyer any day of the damn week. Is it just me, or did he look like a high school quarterback floating the ball out there? Like that ball had no zip coming off his hand. He looked like every bit of a 38-year-old throwing a ball.
The only thing I like is that he's aggressive. I guess if he goes out there, at least we know he's aggressive.
Yeah, that or holding on and sitting in the pocket way too long.
Yeah,
that one sack that he had. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, you gotta move. You gotta move at some point.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, then I realized, I'm like, oh, maybe he can't.
All right, dude. How much time's left? Let's just get started.
Yeah, let's
roll. Let's do it. Intro. Everybody, we are back. It is Taped On Launch, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Follow me on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt. Also, Panda Subs. Make sure you guys support that. Panda Subs. Use TDL for 35% off. All right. Matt, I think we got another blowout after a joint practice. I don't know if you want to go into that, but what is it, 34-17, it looks like. Let's say the Rams go on some late drive, or we get some more Aiden O'Connell. I guess Garber's not getting that much run today. He's not getting any play right now. But
Garber's audition is next week.
I guess so, man. I don't know what he's auditioning for. I guess he's auditioning for somebody else to practice.
For another team.
He might be on. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess they could be on the practice squad, but if you have Aiden O'Connell, is there? I mean, I guess if you need someone in a pinch, is there much of a reason to have Carvers on the practice squad?
No, not. I mean, not really. Not really. It depends on what they do with Hoyer here. I mean, they probably end up keeping Hoyer, but you never know. You never know, to be honest. You never really know. It means how high they are in AOC, but we'll get into that. He had another strong performance out there as well. But we'll get to that. It was 34-17. The main thing is that we saw some starters today, right? So we have some starters out there, which is something that, we haven't seen in a minute with Raiders football. But they were out there for a drive. It was a pretty interesting drive. Just the offensive line. Even the offensive line was, it was Mumford, Illuminor, Van Roten, James, and Moody, I think, because Parham didn't play.
Yeah.
And I know Moody got beat really bad on one play, but it was good to see the offense out there and the first team defense. What did you think, Matt?
I mean, like you said, good to see some offense. Good to see a little bit of what we got. I thought the offensive line, like we were talking about it, Moody got beat on that one play, but for the most part, they pretty much dominated that first drive. I mean, talking about Jimmy G, we'll talk about him in a second, but most felt like that was kind of a little bit of a false 4-for-4 for him. But I thought the running game was really what moved that ball down the field. And again, it felt like a lot of plays were the O-line was getting a lot of push. No, it was more the Rams' second defense, but hey, they did their job, did what they could do. Definitely was interesting to see Munford taking the snaps at right tackle, Luminor at left. Kind of tells me a little bit of where that battle is at. And then to Van Roten, looking like he's got the starting job locked down right now over Bars, because Bars was playing late in the game today. And like you said, Van Roten got the start. So James is getting a lot of run too, which was a little bit interesting.
Yeah. James got a lot of run today, which I mean, I don't know what that is about. And then somebody rolled up on his ankle. I think I was a little worried about that. I'm like, man, if you get Parham and him hurt because you planned him in the second quarter 2 weeks in a row, I'm like, what are we doing here? I mean, that's the offensive line. That's key to having Jimmy G, play well, because getting to Jimmy G's play. I mean, the only throw he threw downfield is when he was under pressure. He kind of just threw it up in the air. I mean, we can talk about.
You're talking about the one that I think you tweeted out, like Myers made a nice adjustment, like it was behind and below and low. Yeah, he just kind of flicked it out there. Yeah,
get a guy to said, yeah. So that was kind of the only throw they had downfield. The other ones were like a swing pass, right, and then like a quick out. And then
the out was behind. Was it Dorsett? Yeah. It was behind Dorsett. That's what I'm kind of talking about. Where I'm like, it was a little bit of like a fool's gold, a false 4-for-4 that made it Jimmy Garoppolo look better. I mean, go down and score it again. He was perfect, but it was more two nice plays that kind of saved him from two bad incompletions that probably would have taken points off the board. So.
Yeah, I mean, the things you always worry about with him is just pressure. Kind of seeing him under pressure and just fling the ball in the air is, I'm a little worried, but I thought Zamir White looked better today than he did last week, even though he still had some big holes. I still did. I thought he ran the ball a little bit better than the last week. There was some broken tackles this time. I was kind of disappointed to see Brandon Bolden out there. I don't know. It's like, man, you're really gonna make this team. You're playing with the first team out here. You're the backup running back. Is that what? It was interesting to see him out there. But I thought White just ran the ball a little bit better. I mean, I have to see it on film, but just from watching the broadcast, maybe you disagree, but I thought he looked a little better.
I mean, like he did have a couple, like there was a couple I think that noted that they were more like arm tackles that he was able to run through, which I mean, better than what we've seen. But I was still just like, it's with him. It's like I'd still like just kept trying to see, is he getting past his blocking? And it's really not that much. Like he might be falling a couple yards past it, and he just can't move laterally. Like I watched like the other running backs, even like Damian Williams, who I think the play got called back for a penalty where he bounces it back outside. I'm like, that's just something Zamir White can't do. And like, that's something that's huge for a running back. That's something that we had I remember like pointing out about him when he was coming out of Georgia. And it's just like, I just watch him and I just keep getting frustrated where I'm like, I feel like every other back that's in the backfield almost is a little bit more explosive than he is right now. And I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm being harder on him again, As we always say, the all-22 tape is the truth. We're here on the Tape Don't Lie podcast, but it's just there. I did notice too. I will say, like you said, I thought he was better than last week, but it still feels like it's like this guy is not where you'd hope he'd be to take over of the backfield right now.
Yeah. To the defense playing first team, it was interesting to see, some of those guys out there. Split lane looked like he had some pretty good tackles out there. Good. They look pretty good. They made them go. They have one first down, but they got off the field really quick. I thought Diablo looked pretty good on some blitzes. They were running some blitzes out there. Not a blitz, but he was able to, I think it was a blitz, but then running the ball, he was able to get in the backfield a little bit. But I think that he looked pretty good, but Tillery and Nichols didn't play. So that was interesting. And Neil Farrell was out there with them, but he ended up playing a little bit deeper into the game.
Neil Farrell got a lot of run. Yeah.
Yeah. So, those guys, today it was a little, I don't know, like they didn't really do what they did last week. I just feel like, Stetson Bennett was kind of just struggling out there, like a little bit, himself. But like I said, I guess we'll go to film and see what we got there. But like the interception to Palomar, even though he was in the right spot, I mean,
that was a gift. I remember watching it. And I'm like sitting there trying to figure out who he was throwing to. I mean, clear miscommunication. And then, but
yeah.
hey, Palomar, you got to put points on the board. We got to make big players. Playmakers make big plays, right? But
Mountain Point High School stand up. He went to my high school, so
oh yeah.
Yeah. Mountain Point High School stand up over here in nice. Phoenix. But hey, him making plays though is good for him because he gets a chance to kind of really make the football team. Even though I think he will. I'm a little bit worried about Chris Smith because you don't see him too much. So I wonder how that looks for him.
Kind of quiet. He had that one play that should have been a pick that it looked like he read it pretty nice. But yeah, like I felt like the last couple of games, like we haven't really heard anything from Chris Smith, and outside of like OTAs, there's like the coaching staff is bragging about him and stuff like that. It's been pretty quiet, not a whole lot of hype going on. But I thought the same thing you kind of were saying about Spillane. He actually caught my eye a couple plays. A couple tackles for short gain. I thought he had a pretty good game there, where I was actually a little bit encouraged by what I saw from him, from a guy that was kind of just a solid free agent signing and stepped up. The other guy that I thought actually had a decent game was John Jenkins again. This time a little bit more against the run. He got like one tackle, I think, again for like a short gain, and then another play where he forced the cutback. So again, nice showing from the big Jenkins over there. Can be the looks like he'll be the starting nose or something like that, the gap filler that they need on this defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jenkins looks like he's be a pretty good gap filler. But if Tillery and Nichols are out there, it's gonna be interesting to see how those guys rotate out, especially if Tillery's getting a lot of play on first down. I wonder if that's gonna happen. I hope it doesn't, but they might be trying to do that. It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes with how the defense is working in there. But not for the first team because they weren't out there that much. Second team stuff. Brian Hoyer got to play over AOC, which I don't know. That's hey. He needs some reps at 38. Definitely he's got to get used to this offense that he's been playing in for he played in it with the Texans and the Patriots. So he's played in this offense for the past 7 years. So he definitely needs some run to kind of see what he looks like in this offense.
I mean, I feel like they had to give him snaps just to be like, okay, just to almost confirm this is going to be Aiden O'Connell. He's the second quarterback. Because, that was the takeaway. I feel like they almost had to give him reps just to make sure, Brian Hoyer is kind of cooked, and Aiden O'Connell does just execute this offense a little bit better.
Yeah. It's, to be honest, I mean, I thought Aiden O'Connell, in my opinion, I thought he looked better this week than he did last week. I know he missed some deep throws that he missed. And I think the one with Tucker probably could have got more air on it. But I just think I actually saw him go through reads this week. I really like that. I saw him kind of, keep his feet and go through reads and hit guys, hit some checkdowns. The throw to the tight end that, he led the guy on the tight end. I thought that was great because he went through his reads, hit that check down, keep the chains moving. I thought I saw more of that this week instead of just a wide open guy downfield. And he's just throwing a great pass to him. But the guy's wide open. And you saw, even the touchdown that he threw to the back of the end zone, that was his second read too. I think that was yeah, and I thought that if you watch it on film, Wilkerson does a fade, and I think he adjusts it, and AOC sees it, and he just throws it, kind of just let him do a dime. It was over at that point. Come on, bro. What are we doing? To be honest, I'm going to be looking at Josh funny a little bit if he keeps Hoyer over AOC. I'm just going to be looking at him a little funny because at this point, they play the same guys, kind of. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like when you say keep him over him, you're talking like AOC does, are you talking both make the team, or are you talking you think Hoyer should get cut right now? Because I think Hoyer's still making the team.
See, the thing is, you're gonna need some quarterbacks because Jimmy Garoppolo has that chance to get hurt. But I just think if you want to keep a better player on the roster, and you see AOC is playing better than Hoyer, he's 38. What are we doing?
I kind of agree with you too, but to play a little devil's advocate and to get in the mind of an NFL head coach, if and when kind of Jimmy Garoppolo goes down, I think you would rather have the experienced guy that's had starts in this league on the roster than being forced to turn to the rookie, that's the 4th round pick rookie. Even though, again, you watch this game, I just said it, it is very clear who has more talent and who's better, right? And the better player. I just feel like having that guy in like your quarterback room to one, even just mentor Aiden O'Connell, even at the very worst, where like, okay, we have this security blanket where say for instance, like Aiden O'Connell goes out there in a regular season game and struggles. Okay, we give him the hook at least before we lose too much of his confidence. Like that's where I think Brian Hoyer almost has the job security, is the fact that yes, as great as Aiden O'Connell has played, he is still a rookie. And like, do we really want to rush this guy out there if we don't have to? Which is not exactly a ringing endorsement, but like I feel like Brian Hoyer is still going to make this
to me, it works this way. Okay, if Jimmy G has to get hurt and AOC is his backup, you can still go get Brian Hoyer to be his backup. I mean, who's going to side Brian Hoyer?
Okay,
the Patriots? They got Bailey Zappi. Yeah. So he still could come in and they could do that, but we'll see. Josh, he's going to
put veterans on.
Go ahead.
I know during COVID they could put like 4 veterans on the practice squad. I wonder if maybe that's the route they go with because they can still do that, right?
Yeah, they still can.
Yeah, so I wonder if maybe that's the route they go with Brian Hoyer. But you do have a good point. Like, it's not like Brian Hoyer played his way into getting a big contract, because again, you can the 2 throws that kind of cemented it was the one that AOC threw in the back of the end zone that was a dart, and then Brian Hoyer struggling to get it over a hole dropper. Who I don't know how tall that guy was, but if he was more over 6 feet,
Mayer was wide open. Like, here's Mayer's second catch. He's gonna get some yards. That's how they're gonna use him. And I'm like, how did you? I was thinking, like, man,
not even like he threw it to the linebacker, hit him between the 3 and the 1 or whatever numbers he had. Like, it was, and he.
Man. I don't. But that's what I mean. Like, if you go out there. And these guys are playing with the same play. It's not like AOC wasn't playing with Wilkerson too. He wasn't playing with Keelan Cole and Trey Tucker. Brian Hoyer, they played with the same line. I think the same line came out to start the third quarter. It's kind of like you got to look at it like that.
Worse. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Who knows, man? I don't know, but I'm not the coach. I'm not the GM. But to me, it's kind of clear at this point. Like, hey, because I don't know, man. We'll see.
I hear you. I just feel like, and again, I as I talk myself through this, I'm almost talking myself into AOC. But it's like, I just feel like as an NFL coach, as thinking in Josh McDaniel's brain, he's going to be like, I want to have a veteran to turn to just in case of emergency. That the fire hydrant or the fire extinguisher that you have in the hallway, just that you never want to use. You know what I mean? That's Brian Hoyer.
All right, some other guys on offense, young players. Trey Tucker, I see some people talking about him. I thought he had a little bit of a bounce back game. He had some big plays. He
obviously slow too.
Yeah, he had the drop in the end zone, and also he ended up making a great catch on the sideline. You just really saw his hands, and those are the hands I saw in college. That type of catch, making that is what you really like from him. And then the deep threat, of course. I don't know what happened on that deep ball with him and O'Connell. I don't know if he misjudged that. I want to see that on film. Me, I always blame the wide receiver, so I assume that he misjudged it. But
I'll say this: he was wide open, and O'Connell's got to put that in front of him. Like, from what we could see from the broadcast on the instant, the knee jerk reaction, like it looked like it was a missed throw by O'Connell.
To me. And O'Connell did have a couple misses on the deep ball, even the one to Tucker when Tucker was wide open. I mean, if he put more air under it, he probably just scores. But I mean, I hate getting on guys like that. Just if he's wide open, just give him the damn ball. Just catch it.
Yeah.
Let's not overthrow the guy trying to be cute sometimes. But with Trey Tucker, though, I still think he's running great routes, way better than he did. But what are some of your thoughts on his play?
I mean, same thing, kind of the similar thing as last week. I think I tweeted it out too. Like he was getting open. That's the good thing. That's the good news, that we're seeing him, continue to create separation. First half of the game, like I said, had a couple plays I felt like, or at least one that needed to finish. That struggled, specifically the one in the back. I think it was in the end zone, right, for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
could have had that one and brought it in, didn't. But then comes back, stays resilient, short memory, and on that comeback route makes a nice little diving catch to finish. So I thought he finished strong, and that's, I think, what you're hoping for is, I would have liked to see him avoid the drop or make that play earlier in the game. But the fact that I almost like it better that happened. I could see him fight through the adversity and just shake it off and keep coming. Like that to me is a guy who, I would get excited about if I was coaching him. It's like, hey, this guy's might screw up, but he's a rookie. He's going to have his ups and downs. But you know what he's going to do is he's not going to let it snowball, and he's going to continue to step up. And I think that's what you saw him today. That's what I was really excited about. The one guy I wanted to talk about, though, and you brought him up earlier, was Wilkerson. Mm-hmm. He's had a heck of a preseason so far. He had a couple nice blocks on those pin and pull plays last week. This week, got a couple plays in play action. Nice little toe drag swag in the back of the end zone from O'Connell. Like, a former Patriot too. Like, I was kind of like thinking about there. I don't think they're going to have enough room because I thought Dorsett actually had a decent game today and he was getting some reps with the ones. But might not be enough room for Wilkerson on the roster. But I'll tell you what, man, that guy's playing his ass off right now, playing his way onto a practice squad or onto an active roster somewhere else. He's had a pretty good preseason so far. Yeah,
but that's my thing. That's why I'll go back to Hoyer, is that we're going to keep him and we're not going to keep another spot for a good player. Because even, some of the guys on defense that are the younger players over there, it's be interesting to see how they kind of keep some of these guys going. But man, it's that's why I'm kind of a little off the Brian Hoyer thing now. But because Wilkerson looks good. I mean, Dorsett looks pretty good. And if you're going to keep 6, because it seems like they got their 5 legitimate. I mean, Carter came out there he played with the 1s. He played with Jimmy and then returned a punt, and then he was gone.
Nice punt return, too.
Yeah, nice punt return, and he was dipped. He was out. So, obviously, he's making the team, right? Unless it's I'm going to learn something new, So, everything is, working out there. So, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the wide receiver position for sure. And then cornerback, flip to the defensive side of the ball. The cornerbacks the room kind of looks weird. I mean, David Long got a lot of play today after not getting any reps. I saw somebody ask about Ja'Cory Bennett. I was looking for him, but I didn't see him out there.
I don't think he played. Did Hobbs play?
Hobbs played to start.
Did Peters play? And did Hobbs and Peters play on the
first
drive?
To play the first drive. Peters played on the first drive. And Hobbs. They had the starting corners out there. I think the other guy was I think it was Shelley, I think. But man. Yeah.
No, I didn't see Bennett out there at all. I don't know if he got hurt like in practice or something like that or what. But I didn't see him out there. I think Deshaun tweeted that it was kind of notable that he wasn't out either. So I don't know what's going on there. I feel like he probably tweaked something in one of the last few days of practice, or maybe he's a starter. But that was the one guy that was like noticeably not out there. But I thought David Long Jr. Give up a catch or two, but thought he had a decent game. There was a couple. He had one series where he came up, blew up the screen on that. What was it, like 1st and 25 or whatever they had in that situation? Same drive, nice job cutting off the route to force a punt on 3rd down. So a guy that we heard some hype around on the joint practices with the 49ers, I believe, or leading up to that, and didn't get to play last week. That ended up, I thought, showing out and making his case to make this team so far.
Yeah, Amik had an up and down day too. I thought he made a good play, and then of course that's what he does. He makes a good play, and then he makes a bad one, and then he makes a good play, and then he makes a bad one. So, he's still a little up and down there. Not too much from the other corners as well. And then I see some questions about the safeties. I mean, it was hard to kind of see what they exactly were doing back there a little bit, but the pass rush wasn't as out there as at least in the broadcast. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It was kind of weird on defense to watch. I just thought, Stetson Bennett just kind of wasn't playing very well. But
I will say your boy Malcolm Kuntz had a heck of a game as a pass rusher.
Yeah,
2-3 pressures, nice quarterback hit. That what we were talking about last week when he's about him turning speed to power, and he was like, dancing too much. He didn't that time, and he ended up putting the guard on or the tackle on his ass. So good to see him get some pressure. Still think it's an uphill battle for him, but.
Yeah, and then they hit him with the hump move, got the guy hurt and everything, man. That was a serious hump move. Yeah, he had some good rushes, man. He did. He's really trying to make this team for sure. Because, like I said, that spot is so tight, especially with him and Jordan Willis, man. Are they going to go with the better run defender, or are they going to go with the better pass rusher? And that's going to be a little hard for them to decide. Or do they keep him? Because Tyree Wilson's there, and you guys still got Chandler Jones and all those guys. So, Jones is hurt right now, so who knows how good he is. But you just want to see more from the defense. I just want to see more, active. Drake Thomas had a really good game. like 12 tackles, right? But
Yep,
that's
finishes 12, 7 more than anybody else on the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the guy. Like, when I did the 53-man projection, I thought he would make the team because he's so damn good on tape, man. He's just short.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. If he were 6 feet, like, and not 5'11", he would have gotten drafted at least. I mean, he was a good run defender at NC State, and been pretty good so far with the Raiders. I mean, had a good game today. Productive. Yeah. He's active out there, so he's making plays. I mean, I kind of like him a little bit better than Bernie a little bit.
Yeah.
Bernie's got his specialty as a coverage guy. Thomas actually comes up and makes some plays a little bit more in the run. So
yeah, makes tackles, right? So it's Bernie missed some tackles last week, but Thomas is making all the tackles. So if you have that type of player at linebacker, you got to pick, man. I don't know. It's gonna be.
And I will say this too: there was at least one play. There was at least one play today that I noticed that, like, a ball sailed right over Bernie's head that I thought he should have made a play on. It's like, that's supposed to be your specialty, and you're not doing that. And then other guy's doing something better at his specialty, like, kind of way got 12 tackles. Gonna go. You're gonna make the guy. You're gonna make a decision easy for the coaching staff right there.
Yeah, 12 tackles in a half is crazy. There's a lot of tackles. He did play the second quarter. He started, I think, even a little bit late into the third. Like, he started with 5 minutes left. He just on every play. So that's good for him, man. All right. Let's see. So Tillery did play. All right. So let's go over some of these questions. So Tillery did play. Did he?
I don't think he played. I think Tillery and Nichols didn't play.
Did they? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So these other questions I got. Dalton Wagner, I saw him out there. I thought he played. He's having a good preseason too. I wonder if he has a chance. We'll see. He's definitely a practice squad to me. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, he's a guy that like Justin Aron. I can't say I noticed him terribly well, except for he drew one holding penalty, and I mean Wagner ended up having a false start too. So those are the two guys that I think are probably competing with each other, unless maybe Luminor's on the block, but I don't think so. I think it'll probably be Haran over him. And right now, I think I got to give the nod to Wagner just based off the 2 preseason games we've seen, limited action. But he's definitely going to be a tough guy that I feel like, going back to your point about holding up a spot with Brian Hoyer, where if the Raiders cut Wagner and try and get him on the practice squad, he might not make it. He might not clear waivers because he was one of the more highly sought after undrafted free agents, signed for a good amount of guaranteed money as a UDFA. So definitely a guy that's a good candidate to make it as an undrafted guy. Couple guys, him and Thomas.
Yeah. So all right, so let's go some other. I did see some ask some Tyrell Wilson play. He did not play. Any of the tight ends stand out? Not this week. I didn't see any tight ends stand out at all.
Mayer was struggling in the run game. I thought he got beat a couple times.
Yeah, I mean,
which we assume, but yeah, that's not exactly. It's. I always say those things, and I'm like, well, we knew that, but I'm like, yeah, but it's something else when you see it.
Yeah,
confirm it
for sure. He said Tillery was out there in the second quarter. They said.
Wow, really?
Wow.
That would be fitting for Jerry Tillery, for him to not only not be starting, but to be out there at some point and still not get noticed. Although I did say there was a few points where I felt like defensive tackles were getting pushed in a little bit, so maybe that was when Jerry Tillery was out there. Yeah,
man. I my thing is with Jerry Tillery is I'll never forget the Patriots just running that way last year. They did not run to the left. Because I was watching the game and I was like, man, this looks what? And I looked it up with PFF, and it was like 85% of the runs were right at it.
Right at it every single time. It's money. Like, I don't know why teams go away from it. I mean, obviously he gets taken out of the game, but yeah, like I don't. When they gave him a 2-year contract in the offseason, it did not make any sense to me. And I love Jerry Tillery coming out of Notre Dame, but
that's what it is with him. It's like if a team is game planning to run right at you through your exact gap, like it's just the whole game, and then they were eating them up, and then they were just moving the ball that way too. I was like, oh man, I don't know how you re-sign that guy, but
hey,
man. All right, let's see what else we got here before we get out of here. Nickelbacker is who? It was Spillane, bro. Sorry. It is Spillane.
What's up?
Nickelbacker. He's asking who the other Nickelbacker is with Diablo and Spillane.
Oh yeah, it's Spillane. Oh yeah, Spillane. Like I said, Spillane was probably one of my big standouts, my big shockers today. He had a good
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Yeah, he had a good game.
Action.
All right, guys. We're at 30 minutes. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We had about 200, we got about up to 250 in here at one time. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. And everybody, check this out. Like, Corey Springer be busting up the tape. I'll hit you guys with a bunch of stuff this week. And then we'll come back with a review show, probably, pretty quick here once because we get some film tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be out in the morning so we can start grinding the film for you guys, you know what I mean? Getting deep in there, and kind of seeing how AOC played, see what he saw, see what reads he made. Because honestly, I thought you had the 15 to 18, and I was like, oh, that looks so much better. But I thought he played better this week for sure, guys. All right, so we're out of here. Like I said, appreciate you guys listening, checking this out. Hopefully, the Raiders can keep this up, and you can see AOC next week and we get some more growth from him. Another good game, and hopefully he can beat out Brian Hoyer. So that's what we're hoping for now, guys. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace.
All right, see ya.